Namaskar. Apologies for the slight delay in starting. The fault is all mine. And now everything is sorted out. We are going to start now. But first off, before we bring our guest of the evening, Shekhar Iyer I would like to welcome all our new members. And there are a lot of members today signing up. So you can see the names scrolling. We may have acknowledged you in the previous hangout, but it's okay. We would love to have you acknowledge you again. So thank you all. And please do keep joining members, because we are going to start having some specific things that will be targeted at members. So please do keep joining us. Also, like this video as of right now. Shekhar ji, is an ultimate truth specialist, and he says everything just the right amount of touch in his own inimitable way. Let's welcome Shekhar ji. Shekhar ji, namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel.
Namaskar, Shri Iyer ji. Greetings to all your viewers. Thank you very much.
Shekhar ji, the NITI Aayog meeting just ended, I think, and 8 chief ministers decided to skip. So are they willing to cut off their own leg so that would look like they are spiting the BJP government, sir? What kind of madness is this? They'll be langada for the rest of their lives.
Sir, I think the figure has gone up. It is not 8. It is now 11 chief ministers. And many of them have given reasons, one wonders, how seriously they take the issue of governance. Because this was a meeting of the Governing Council. Now, Governing Council consists of these chief ministers. It is headed by the Prime Minister. There are union ministers also on board. And this happens once in a year. And they take up all the issues relating to governance, development of backward districts, poverty removal programs, women empowerment, all the issues that are debated across about the way in which India can grow faster. I mean, this is done, and there is no politics actually. They discuss basically hardcore economic issues and ways to overcome it, particularly in tackling the challenges that India faces as a country. And in fact, today's session was devoted to health, skill development, women empowerment, infrastructure development. These are all very live and current issues, and the whole idea was to work out a 25-year plan. That is, by the time India is completes another next 100 years, that is by 2047, that is when India turns 100. Where we should be, if we have to be where we should be, and what we should be doing right away from now. So this was a very important meeting, and incidentally, the preparatory work started in January, where chief secretaries of all the state governments were called to Delhi, and there was intense discussions as to the agenda, as to way forward. A lot of background work went. But what do you see today? Today, the Nitish Kumar, first writes to the PM saying he's too busy. And busy with what? Today he went to Hyderabad to meet K. Chandrasekhar Rao. And K. Chandrasekhar Rao, has made it a policy not to meet the Prime Minister or attend any meetings of the Prime Minister, anything chaired by the Prime Minister. What does Mamata say? Mamata says she is also too busy, I don't know with what, and she wants to send a finance minister. Obviously, this is a meeting where, it is the chief ministers themselves participate. They don't depute anybody unless, of course, Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot reported sick. But among the Congress chief ministers, there were 2 Congress chief ministers. You had Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, and Himachal Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu was there. I mean, these are the saving graces as far as opposition is concerned. But it's very shocking, you didn't have a chief minister from Tamil Nadu, because Tamil Nadu Chief Minister is busy, as claimed officially, promoting investment in Japan and Singapore, where he will also undergo probably medical checkup. And then Kerala CM did not offer any reason. We didn't hear anything official from the Kerala CM as to why he didn't think it fit to attend. Sir, throughout the year, these very chief ministers go on complaining they don't get enough funds for the projects, their pleas are not heard. And when there is an occasion, they think of all the political reasons. And we are seeing a season of boycott, or what is called a cancel culture. At the moment when I am speaking to our viewers, Prime Minister is meeting the Adinams who have all landed from Tamil Nadu, and right now he has been addressing them. And before I joined you, I heard him say that how important and how he feels very happy. All the Adinams have come and they are going to bring to life the ancient Tamil tradition. And he finds it that we have corrected the mistake of the last 75 years. And he, Prime Minister, too, asked the same question that Shri Ayerji, you have asked a number of times in the last 2 3 days. How did Sengol become a walking stick? As Prime Minister just now said, Sengol kaise chhadi bana? Matlab, how did it become a walking stick of Nehru? So, this is today a day of so many developments, particularly on the eve of opening of the new parliament building. But unfortunately, what we are seeing is they did attend Niti. Okay, they had problems with new parliament building, which also I don't know how they are going to justify. They are just losing those moments of history because of hatred and politics. Because there was no valid reason given by Mamata and Nitish Kumar. First, he wanted to depute somebody else because he was busy, meeting somebody else. Now, this is the kind of thing we are seeing. Very unfortunate. Of course, Arvind Kejriwal and Punjab Chief Minister, because Arvind Kejriwal asked Punjab Chief Minister not to go. So Arvind Kejriwal says, what is there to go and discuss there when they are depriving us of our, rights under cooperative federalism, even after the Supreme Court verdict. So you are seeing all kinds of reasons being given, and which is, of course, Kejriwal had the decency to, go and present at least, write a letter to PM. But in case of others, I think this is, this is something which is, of course, the NITI Aayog, CEO BVR Subramanya, who later briefed on the proceeding, said, "Look, we are center will look after all the states, never matter whether they attend or do not attend. But it is loss for those who did not participate because they could have given inputs." See, all the time they blame center, saying you are pushing down the throat of whatever you have conceived. You don't involve us in planning and execution. But here was an opportunity because after this, lot of work will go on and things will be done.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'm trying to. We just showed you viewers the Sengol being transferred to Modi ji, and this is what was enacted in 1947. And we are lucky that we were actually able to get a copyright-free video. This is something to be shared as a matter of pride for everybody. So we are happy that we are able to show that to you. This joke about going and meeting that chief minister, this chief minister, Shekhar ji, this is utter nonsense and it's a waste of taxpayer money. So one other thing that these people are not understanding, after GST has come, the finance minister at the state level really doesn't have a job. See, once they integrate those two remaining things, petrol and liquor, into GST, right? Whatever little tamasha and harakiri that these guys can do. For example, I think petrol used to cost less in Karnataka than the adjoining Bengal, Andhra and Tamil Nadu. Of course, now these guys will find a way to raise that also. See, these things also will go away. There is no need to have state governments in about 5 years' time, in my opinion, Shekhar ji. India can go back to governing itself using its districts and district collectors. You don't need all these tamasha villains. These are clowns, and they don't deserve to be having chief ministership padvi ko hi hata dijiye aap. There is no need for that. That's my two cents, sir. Let us go on to the next topic. This new
Sir,
parliament.
I want to. KCR says he had to. If meeting Kejriwal is more important than attending a NITI Aayog. Look at that attitude. This is really.
मैं आपको हैदराबादी में बोलता हूँ शेखर जी, मैं आपको हैदराबादी में बोलता हूँ, ये लोग हावले है भाई, इनको दिमागिच नहीं है, कुछ भी कर लेते, कुछ भी बक लेते, कोई जाके किससे मिल लेता, कुछ काम नहीं, धंधा नहीं. क्या बात है, क्या उखाड़ लेगा उससे मिलने के, क्या उखाड़ने वाले हो आप? नीतीश कुमार जी, पूछ रहा हूँ आपको, हैदराबादी दखनी में क्या उखाड़े आज जाके उसके मिलके, उससे मिले या उसका एक चमचा जो है उससे मिलके आए? क्या कर रहे हो आप? किसके पैसों पे जा रहे हो? क्या खुद के पैसे? Anyway, चलिए.
Kejriwal has reasons to go here and there, beg for support. But why should KCR? KCR has, and sir, point is still, whether they like it or not, they have to accept Prime Minister Modi is in office. BJP government is in office till the next elections, and who knows what will happen after that. But till then, you have to be doing the business of governance. Your politics remains, but how can you, take recourse to this kind of cancel culture, not attend meetings, you won't go for any of the chief ministers' conferences, you will not go for anything, and throughout the year you will keep on bemoaning that I don't get enough money. I don't. Sir, you mentioned about GST. Sir, Karnataka today they inducted 24 ministers, and portfolios have not been declared officially, but whatever list is available, that shows that Siddaramaiah is squeezing everybody who is not in his camp. And already the problem is that implementation of the 5 promises now is going to take place, is going to get effect only in the next cabinet meeting. The first cabinet meeting, because Rahul Gandhi wanted. So they announced, in principle, this is going to be implemented. Now, next will be on principle, in the sense how it will be implemented. So like this, they are buying time because there is no money. And already I am hearing what to raise and how to raise funds, because this is 60,000 crores. So they don't know what to do. So what they are doing is they are, they are thinking of increasing, the petrol prices. Somebody has given a suggestion: if you increase it by 5 rupees per liter, you can probably somewhat make up for that 60,000 crore burden because of the promises. Sir, and there is also a talk in Karnataka about raising property tax, because the BJP government brought down the property tax in Karnataka because registration of new flats were not happening because of property tax were considered a big hurdle. Now again the talk is coming. After the BJP government reduced the taxes, the registration of new property went up. Now, you make promises, now you realize you can't implement it, and I can see trouble brewing in Karnataka. I mean, of course, Siddaramaiah had a good reason today not come, because he was busy with the cabinet expansion. But
Sir,
for other
I want to show you. I want to show you. I want to show you the list of people who are now in the cabinet. The thing is, these people are saying they're secular, right? Every person's caste is also mentioned in that letter, AICC letter. Can we have that Venugopal letter, please? We'll put it up. We'll continue talking. We displayed it in a different show, but we are going to bring it up again, because viewers need to know the amount of appeasement that is going on. These guys are nothing but dyed-in-the-wool hypocrites. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, definitely. This kind of listing the caste, also the region, and there is a direction, from the party to the chief minister. Because last letter, last time there were 8 names, and it was signed by KC Venugopal, just as this letter is also, and asking the Siddaramaiah to ensure this is carried out. I mean, you can see how it is being done. I mean, party directing the chief minister, you take all these people, which is actually very, I mean, I would say, I mean, this is not okay. The High Command played a role, because of the 24 who were inducted. With that, the whole thing is complete. 7 belong to, I believe some people are saying 7 belong to DK, and 7 belong to Siddaramaiah. But whatever it is, 6, even if you take, rest are all High Command nomination, and 1 person is neither an MLA nor an MLC. That is Bose Raju. He is not MLC, but because he has been taken in because he is from Raichur and is very close to AICC people. He has probably come under AICC quota. And also, sir, the list that is being talked about, that list that in Kerala, sir, when Congress was ruling, and when 2 stalwarts were, calling shots, one was AK Antony, other was Karunakaran. Similarly, you had a Karunakaran group and an Antony group. And ministers would be picked on that basis, so many ministers to Antony, so many ministers. But what I gather, sir, already DK Shivkumar and his ministers are very unhappy, because the energy portfolio, the creamy energy portfolio, which many thought would be going to DK Shivkumar, I believe is now going to KJ George. And KJ George, is very close to 10 Janpath, who is one of the fund managers for 10 Janpath as well as for the party. So I think the allocations are directly proportional to the individual minister's capacity to, in fund extraction or fund generation.
So, sir, can you put up the picture again, please, of the portfolios? See the amount of divisiveness being displayed. Among Lingayats, there is so many different varieties. Veerashaiva, Banjiga Veerashaiva Lingayat, Reddy Lingayat, Panchamashali Lingayat, Sadar Lingayat, and then Panchamashali Lingayat, Adi Banjiga Lingayat. My head is spinning, sir. We are all, I mean, we are all Indians first. What, and why are you doing this? These guys
Sir,
have decided. Go ahead, sir.
sir, we are Indians first, but then if I don't manage this caste and combination, how do I remain even a chief minister for a day? And they are proudly, thumping their each other's back, saying this is a great balancing work done by the Congress High Command, all communities included, all caste included. They are actually very happy about it. The very fact they are mentioning the caste is also to satisfy, send a message across to the other party workers at large. Look, we have taken care of each of them. And till date, sir, nobody has a clue as to how the promises are going to be implemented. Already, people are refusing to pay electricity dues. They are saying, what bill? It is all going to be waived. People are not buying ticket on buses. They are having quarrels with the conductors. I mean, you are gradually seeing a situation, and now there is a talk women of only Karnataka will get. That means women, non-Karnataka women should not get. All kinds of, somehow, you have made the promise, you do not know. So, what is going to happen is, generally it is said, those who are quick to promise are slow to deliver. I think that is going to be the case in Karnataka. But anyway, they will have to do something before the Lok Sabha elections at least. But before then, I am told, sir, another 2-3 months are going to be very crucial for, the stability of the Siddaramaiah government, because there is a lot of rumbling. That is why the list of official list of allocation of portfolios is not yet out as we are speaking now.
DK Shivkumar is a party faithful. The man underwrote the entire Bharat Jodo Yatra, right? And he made sure that Rahul Gandhi's needs were met. I'm saying that very guardedly. And this is from where? From Kanyakumari, it went all the way up to Kashmir. And it is believed that he alone underwrote the entire thing. The others were just chipping in. They are just, making appearances and running away. And this is how he gets rewarded. They should also look at that. What more does DK Shivkumar have to do to get that coveted chief minister's post? I mean, people like DK Shivkumar, Sachin Pilot, who is who I'm trying to decide. Is DKS the Sachin Pilot of Karnataka? Or if Sachin Pilot and the DKS of Rajasthan? Anyway, this is not going to be auguring well. At the same time, I know for a fact many of the cases are in an advanced stage against DK Shivkumar. Siddaramaiah cleverly doesn't have anything against his name yet. I have not seen. See, P. Gurus publishes all these things, so I know. You guys go to pgurus.com and look for DK Shivkumar and see how many stories come up about all the different investigations going on. Of course, the Modi government will not do it as per the time. It will do it as per their time of choosing, which is to draw maximum political mileage, which they did not do in this election, in my opinion. And so this is just, I have grouses with both sides. BJP should be letting their ED, CBI, IT guys do their job, because right now, in my opinion, not only is the center, not only is the state, not only are the states, but the center also is short-changed. They don't have enough money because, sir, they are building roads left, right, and center. That takes money, and that is not budgeted. So where is that money coming from? Do you have any idea, Shekharji?
You're talking of the central projects, or you are talking of
central projects, border fencing, border roads, like they just, and these have to be done. No questions asked. You have to do it today.
Exactly.
Otherwise, your country is gone.
No, it must be acknowledged and said to the credit of the Modi government. These are the things they have taken up it as a priority, not from 2019. In fact, from 2014 onwards. That's why you have seen that there has been a quantum jump, in tackling these issues and the kind of infrastructure development. And only last year he announced 100 lakh crore, Gati Shakti project, where, to deal with all these issues, or, fund should not be a problem. That's something that the Prime Minister has been saying meeting after meeting. So therefore, In terms of allocation of funds, it is there. But when you are going to get down to this, with the promises just to win elections, if the states are going to do, ultimately, in a couple of months, they will say that Karnataka will start saying, Modi is not giving, so I'm not able to implement. So that ensure that the anger of the people is directed there, and they can again reap benefit in the next local elections. So this is the game that's going to be played, and every election the pressure is mounting. That you win elections, say some promises, implement half or don't implement half the other, keep it for some other towards the end of election. That means you can wait for next 5 years. So ultimately, people will realize, sir, and they will have to wake up from this freebie trap. I say trap because once the vote are taken for next 5 years, they can't do a thing.
Also,
So
viewers, I just want to explain one thing. This is the best of my knowledge, and Shekharji can rebut me or compliment what my data is. My data is that, remember, as soon as Prime Minister Modi came to power, one of the first things he did was to visit Japan. And I think that time Abe was the Prime Minister. And I think the deal they struck was that Japan would fund India's growth. They already had figured out that China was having all these aggressive plans. And the amount of money that India got from from Japan as loans at very low interest rates, 0 to 0.5%, is $72 billion. $72 billion. Plus, there is an exchange facility where there is a drawdown you can do in case you want to go and take some money at a stretch. And to give you an idea, the cost of the bullet train from Ahmedabad to Mumbai is, I think, $3 billion. That also is being financed by Japan. Not only are they financing the technology, they're also financing the cost of that. So there is a few things like that. But that was the big money that India got, as far as I know. I don't think India has borrowed money from everybody else. So your thoughts?
yeah, but you see, you give a good example of bullet train. But what happened? Japan was willing to give the money, but because of a change of government in Maharashtra, because Uddhav Thackeray became chief minister, the land acquisition came to a standstill. Even the acquired land were not notified, and because they didn't want to do anything which and so what happened was you had a lopsided kind of work when work should have continued simultaneously both on the Gujarat side as well as on the Maharashtra side. What you found, Gujarat was going ahead with the land acquisition, and other procedures for even stations have started coming up in Gujarat. Now with the change of government, that was one good reason why BJP was keen that Uddhav Thackeray was pulled down. With Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis government, land acquisition work has again started. Those land which were not notified have been notified. That it's going to, this has delayed the project. Look at the tragedy, sir. Funds were available. You could have completed on time. The new technology would have, further spawned more ancillary industries, given jobs to so many people. It got delayed. Because this is our problem, sir. Whenever you want to bring anything, see, I remember a debate when metros came. The first metro came up in Delhi. Same questions. Why do you need new coaches of metros? Why do you need the latest technology? We can manage with this. This is our problem. Similarly, questions are asked: why do we need a bullet train? Why even same thing? Why do you need a speed? Sir, these things they don't understand the speed, how it promotes growth, how it creates new avenues for new industries to come, new skill development. All that people are in. The politics of it, in the name of the poor. All they are interested is do the same thing again and again. Keep giving doles, talk the same narrative which has led us nowhere. Talk about OBC, this, that, and point is, sir, everybody needs to move forward in life as individuals, as collective, and as a community. And
Shekhar,
then you
Shekhar, Shekhar ji, just one thought and then you can continue, sir. As far as I can remember, on the metro lines that are crisscrossing Delhi today, what it has done? It has helped the traffic a lot. Traffic moves much more smoother. And except for one line, which is probably not doing that well, which is the line from one of the airport terminals, international airport terminal, I think, to the New Delhi Parliament building. That, except for that line, every other line you travel on metro, you will see. I have done it myself. It is full, standing room only full. It is that full. People are not mindful of the fact that it is a little bit more expensive because it's air conditioned coaches. but people still are traveling. It's full. So this is a great, great productivity enhancer, especially if you want to make a meeting on time for anybody. Shekharji, in Delhi, you live in outskirts and you want to make a meeting on time. The best way to go to your time is by using a metro. Don't even think about any other way. You cannot make it on time because the vagaries of traffic. So these are all just stupid people who want to somehow try and point something here. They're just complaining for complaint's sake. That's how I see it. Sir, please go ahead.
Yeah, definitely metro has helped curbing pollution. So that's a very
Yes,
big problem
yes.
in Delhi. You have seen when winter months come how people suffer. So that has helped and also reduced traffic on the streets. The smart people do take metro. And you mentioned about airport line. The latest I get is it has picked up because after the Delhi Metro Corporation took over the airport line and they have made it now people other than those who are going to the airport because it connects up to Dwarka from Rajiv Gandhi Chowk or Connaught Place up to the Dwarka. So a lot of people are using that, and at least Air India has the collection luggage at the New Delhi station as well as at Shivaji Stadium station. So you don't have to take your luggage all the way. You can check it at the station, railway station itself. So I mean, this has changed. So, what is happening is, and now you're going to have the Delhi Meerut high speed network also, which we discussed last time. This is going to bring Western UP more closer to the capital and cut time on road travel. Now, at least a meeting like NITI Aayog, where these are discussed issue, states can come with ideas, they can genuinely contribute to the formulation of policies. But somehow I think they have decided to take holiday from governance and focus only on politics and lot of this so-called moves for opposition unity, and Nitish Kumar acts as if he is already freed from the chief minister's job. All that he has to do is go on Kavadi to all the state capitals and meet politicians. And sir, have you seen that video released which shows how Naveen Patnaik treated Nitish Kumar? Naveen
No, I
Patnaik,
didn't see that.
sir,
Yeah.
that video is really, it shows Naveen Patnaik means what he says and, and says what he means. Because Nitish landed up recalling their old friendship when they were cabinet colleagues in Vajpayee's government. And when Nitish landed with two of his key aides, one is that Rajiv Lalan Singh, and who is his Rajiv Lalan, who is his close confidant, and the other person was Sanjay Jha. And when he landed up there and entered the Naveen's residence, Naveen wanted to ensure that he will only meet Nitish Kumar, not these other people. So he made them wait in the drawing room and took Nitish along inside. And Nitish was very upset because he needs these two people to be there. And Naveen ensured that Nitish does not get one-to-one chance. Finally, we see a shot of a dinner meeting, the lunch meeting, where on the lunch table you have Nitish Kumar, Naveen Patnaik, and one of the aides of Naveen Patnaik sitting there. Not those two people who had come from Patna to meet him, both Rajiv Lalan Singh and Sanjay Jha. I mean, this is hugely humiliating. And after the lunch was over, Naveen came outside and said, "We did not discuss politics. There will be no question of this opposition unity business. Only Naveen can be so, cut and dry and convey his message." And the video is, it's eye opener as to what we heard about that meeting earlier.
Yes, indeed. And we touched upon this last week also. So, viewers, we are starting Hindi operations from next week. In fact, we're going to have 3 shows guaranteed per week. So, please encourage us, support us, do subscribe to our channel there. In this channel, every two viewers, one of you have not subscribed yet. That's the numbers. That's what the numbers are telling us. So if you could please subscribe, then we'll be at 500,000 subscriber mark in no time at all. So kindly think about subscribing to our channel. Also like this video because there is still much more to come. I'm going to go a little bit out of the script, sir. Let's talk about Jaishankar's role in Delhi politics, and then I'm going to go to off the script. Please go ahead, sir.
Well, sir, we have been watching Jaishankar for some time. The diplomat turned politician, diplomat turned foreign minister. Of course, he has been doing fantastic work, phenomenal work, being the link man between the Prime Minister and some of the heads of state of different countries. and along with National Security Advisor, yeah, they have been doing furthering India's strategic interest, diplomatic interest. You have seen Jaishankar travel and meet up with people in Washington, Moscow, Tokyo. Lot of things are happening on the. I mean, they things we get to know much later, but a lot of groundwork is done. Of course, Jaishankar being a professional diplomat, this was not difficulty. Similarly, you have had Ajit Doval as NSA, who has also been doing a bit of traveling and preparatory work. But I find, sir, a big change in the way Jaishankar has been, getting more and more political assignments. In the sense, uh, Prime Minister, he is elected to the upper house from Gujarat, and Modi ensured that Jaishankar travels frequently to Gujarat. And the first time you are seeing an issue like foreign policy being explained to party leaders. And Prime Minister has been encouraging Jaishankar to meet, not just the party people from different states, but also across walk of life, so that the foreign policy is not treated as some mumbo jumbo that only people who call themselves strategy experts sit and discuss, but rather something that people should understand. What does India want? How is India emerging as a power? How is India dealing with other countries? Why trade and economic issues play equal importance like strategic issues? Unlike earlier, it was limited to few journalists who pride themselves as the only people who know about foreign policy and treat all other even other journalists. They think that they do not know anything. But we are seeing a change, even the subject being handled. And now I find Jaishankar was sent to Karnataka also to address some close meetings of some thinking class people to explain what is the role of the Modi government in sorting out issues, various trouble spots, how we are doing. And latest is, sir, Jaishankar has been given a charge of BJP work in Delhi. In fact, he, along with former Gujarat CM Rupani, has been asked to do work in Delhi in the sense, they are going to start a program in all states. The 9 years of Modi government, what are its achievements? What were the initial goals? How those goals have expanded? What kind of work has happened on the ground? Now, Jaishankar will be talking to people in Delhi in the sense they will have meetings across Delhi. So you are seeing that Prime Minister expects those who are brought into his government, in the category of technocrats or experts or domain experts, they are also asked to do political work in the sense they have to consider themselves as political workers. Political worker first and then they are domain expert. I mean, because normally what has happened, sir, VP Singh had Dr. Raja Ramana, he had MGK Menon, but they were not asked to do any political work because they were considered they would be busy with nuclear program or with science and technology because they are the domain experts from there. But Modi's approach is you can be a domain expert, but at the same time you will have to expand your role. And I can see how Jaishankar, the way he has been answering questions, in his interactions, and even he even abroad, you can see that the politician in him is now overtaking the diplomat in him. Of course, he is trolled for his very straight talk. Some people who don't like him at all in India, in Delhi particularly, they think that because there was an impression among those class of people who retired from the foreign service or journalists who thought they were more than journalists and they thought they were shaping India's foreign policy. Now today you find things are different because Modi has set goals and he wants things to be implemented because he leaves the implementation to people like Jaishankar and Doval. And now giving political work, to Jaishankar, in a city like Delhi. Delhi has 7 Lok Sabha seats. Last time they won all the 7 Lok Sabha seats, and this time they want to. I mean, it's because of AAP winning both the assembly election and as well as the municipal elections. They see a challenge for the BJP whether it can retain all the 7 Lok Sabha seats. But nevertheless, we have to take note of the fact that whether it is Nirmala Sitharaman as finance minister or Jaishankar, there is a requirement that they have to expand their political persona, and which both we have seen Nirmala doing it now. Jaishankar, is also, and I sometimes at the way he delivers speeches, and one wonders where was this politician all along in Jaishankar? Was it waiting to be tapped by our Prime Minister?
Very true, very true. Thank you for that. And let's take a quick look at what is happening in Tamil Nadu. I don't know if you have the latest update, The income tax raids have been taking place at benami properties of Senthil Balaji, who is supposedly the chief minister right now, acting chief minister, although there is no official order to that effect. But this is what is happening. Any update on that stuff? Because I have some update, but I wanted you to kind of give us an update on where things stand there.
Sir, last 2 days we have seen some physical, obstruction to IT officials. Some of them were hounded by the kith and kin of
Sir,
Senthil
four are in
Balaji.
ICU, sir. Four are in
Yes.
ICU.
And then I think more forces were deployed. So you can see that, wherever forces were available, particularly central paramilitary forces, they have been deployed. And the message has gone home that the center will not take it lying down, because earlier we had seen a similar situation in West Bengal, where they had even garrowed the local CBI office in Kolkata. Then Kolkata High Court intervened and told them that the court would not be silent to any siege of offices, that of the CBI. That happened in Bengal. Now we are seeing Senthil Balaji, true to his reputation, as a toughie. We have seen what his people are doing, but I think the ED raids will continue, and now that the apex court has cleared that the ED can go ahead and investigate. But this is bit of uh, bad news for the first family of Tamil Nadu, sir, because there are some links to four square, G square, and all kinds of squares with Senthil Balaji's operation. So you can see that they are worried. What is going to lead to what in the next few months. But I think it's a new chapter in Tamil Nadu politics, I would say, because Senthil Balaji has emerged as though he came from ADMK, he became very close to the family, and he has been, cynosure of many DMK leaders who got edged out, who are very upset. There is an internal resistance to Senthil Balaji. How did this man rise to such a prominence, close to the Stalin family, close to all those who are, who control the purse strings, or who have the purse strings, rather than controlling purse strings. So you can see that within the DMK circles, people are talking in whisper. Is it the beginning of the end for such people? Questions are being asked. So then what will happen to the other equations that have developed between Senthil Balaji and the first family, and other equations? Because Senthil Balaji made his reputation with the infamous sand mining. I mean, he was considered a sand mining baron to begin with, and subsequently rose up the ladder of politician contractor nexus in Tamil Nadu. So this particular thing, I think they tried all legal routes to stop ED inquiry, but now that it has begun, so they tried the physical obstructionist route, but that is leading to very grave consequences for them.
Shekharji, one more thing I want to attach. Today's news on pgurus.com. ED has attached 36 crores assets, bank deposits of Udayanidhi Stalin Foundation under PMLA. This is a serious offense. This is Udayanidhi Stalin Foundation. We don't know how much. You can't have a name like that and not have the family involved. So this is going to be not good news for them. So that is one other thing that probably is making them very nervous. So we have this situation where Senthil Balaji has emerged, looks like the biggest money getter for the DMK family, and therefore he has clearly risen in the ranks. And this also could be a challenge, because if he is caught, these guys are also in trouble. That's what I think. See, Shekharji, you can add on this, and afterwards, if you had anything to add on NITI Aayog, please feel free to continue, sir. I think I rudely cut you off. I'm so sorry about that. So go ahead, sir.
No, sir, we have broadly touched upon all that I wanted to add was the Prime Minister, in his interactions with the chief ministers today, again emphasized on fiscal discipline. Again, he emphasized on the need to, push particularly the aspirational districts program, where the 100-odd districts which are extremely backward despite, so many years since independence. So the thrust has been that these districts are provided on a speed route for basic facilities, schools, better colleges, better healthcare, drinking water facilities, better irrigation facilities. So that's, and along with the aspirational district program, there is also what is called aspirational block programs. So Some of the blocks in many districts are extremely backward, where poverty, programs have not given adequate result. Now, those things which the Prime Minister wanted to be given a good thrust, good speedy push. I think that's a point that I wanted to add as far as Niti Aayog programs, and also there was other thing which Prime Minister I think wanted the states to act was what is called the Operation Shri Anna, promotion of promotion of millets, both the cultivation of millets and popularizing millet as a stable food, because this is the one way you can tackle water conservation efforts and encourage agriculture which is not heavily dependent on water resources. So these are some of the thing, and Prime Minister kept talking about what is called the data driven governance, so that you can at a real time basis monitor the projects that are taking place. You can know for sure, because the time is important factor. Not that some project is launched with much funfair, and those who launched it are not aware of what is happening on the ground, what is scale of progress. So these are the some points that the Prime Minister emphasized. In a day or two, Niti Aayog will come out with more detailed conclusion points and share it with all states.
Well, that brings us to a close of our talk. We can now take some questions. Rahul Rathod wants to know, opposition claims democracy is under threat, but they constantly assaulting democracy by boycotting everything that is in national interest. They are finishing cooperative federalism. Your thoughts, sir?
Sir, a new parliament building, this is something they could have attended. They could have registered their protest or whatever they wanted to, but joined in the participation. Now, already, sir, many Congress leaders are feeling that they made a mistake. I'm seeing articles by some people who are considered close to leadership saying, look, PM could have invited us in a better way, but then we could have also gone. You had Umar Abdullah saying, this is the finest building that's coming up. Looks like it's a nice place. So already, there is a feeling that by taking on Modi on this issue, they are keeping themselves out of the moment in history. After all, the parliament will start functioning, the budget session. Will they stay out because it is being launched by Prime Minister Modi? And all this debate about, president should have been called, you have seen that there is no regular pattern, only president has done, even during their period. And sir, some of the questions that were asked have left Congress without meaning. Why did the Karunanidhi invite Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh to inaugurate Tamil Nadu Assembly building, which Jayalalitha promptly converted into hospital when she came back to power? 2010 it was done, then it was reconverted to multi-specialty hospital. Though we have heard, that's not a fit building for. The fact is, today it's a multi-specialty hospital, and Jayalalitha took back the assembly to the old building inside Fort St. George. So this is one instance. And what about foundation stone for Chhattisgarh Assembly building? That was laid by Sonia Gandhi. Why you didn't invite the president? And what about the Telangana Assembly was inaugurated by KCR himself? He did not care to call the constitutional head, Tamilisai Soundararajan, who is the governor of Telangana. And similarly, in Jharkhand, it was Hemant Soren, Chief Minister himself, who laid the foundation stone. So there are, we have instances where there is no particular protocol as to make a big deal about protocol. So I think there is a lot of sense of, missing the bus. Literally missing the bus, because this is an occasion where they could have joined, they could have participated. Yes, they made their point, after saying that they should have gone. That would have enhanced their status. But on the other hand, I feel they have fallen into a trap. Trap in the sense, BJP has been, using the opportunity to say, look, anything good happening, these people are against. And a friend of mine said, a journalist friend of mine made an interesting comment. He thinks the new parliament building is actually the most Vastu compliant structure. I said, why? He said it is already keeping out the negative forces. They don't want to enter.
So true, so true. Mr. Bharani Chandra has a question. Sir, shouldn't Modi use some form of power play and get Manmohan Singh, the previous PM, to attend the function and get the Sengol from him? It could be a watershed moment for Congress.
Well, he is getting the Sengol. Today also there was as you also showed how he has been interacting with Madhiram. Some Madhirams have brought more Sengols to hand over to him. Of course, the particular Sengol will be handed over tomorrow with full funfair, with all religious rites, with chants from the Tirumurais. particularly, and this Sengol was specifically handed to Nehru with the same chance. So you will see the same thing happening tomorrow, which is around 8:30 p.m., 8:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So that is there. And Manmohan Singh, I do not know. I don't think he's in great shape for him to even attend the function, because he has not been seen in public for some time. So I do not know about that. But definitely the defense that Congress had tried to offer, first they thought they will go on offensive and saying that this is all bogus and things like that. And then saying that, look, it might have been offered with that intention, but Nehru did not receive it with that intention. That Congress is confirming why it became a walking stick. I mean, this is all coming out now. But only question people are asking it turned into a walking stick. Is it because of the Nandi? Is it because of the Mahalakshmi? Or is it was said with all chance? What if something used by Emperor Akbar had been given to Nehru? Would it have become a walking stick? What if some Pope had presented him something? The way the Archbishop of England, gave a lot of gifts as part of the coronation ceremony of King Charles III. I mean, what if something had been given, if it was lying somewhere? How would our friends who think that they would have taken it as greatest affront to secularism? And one can see that the revulsion that they show today at the restoration of Sengol is largely because of this. Because they still, they keep on saying Indian tradition. Don't talk of Hindu tradition. Say Indian tradition. In fact, that was considered even by, I have heard Mohan Bhagwatji also saying, look, if you have problems saying Hindu tradition, no problem. We are willing to say Bharatiyata. But that Bharatiyata has Hindutva. I mean, you take away the Hindu-ness. I don't want to use the word Hindutva. I would say the Hindu-ness from any Bharatiya tradition. So similarly, I think a lot of this resistance, because the Sengol somehow, reminds them more of the ancient Shaivite practices and things like that, rather than, and they are going back to the argument I saw Sitaram Yechuri saying, are we going back to Raja and, Raja and Praja and all that? It was not meant to anyway, give some institutionalization of, trying to institute a monarchy or a democratic setup or things like that. It was not anything like that. Rather, it was to convey the responsibility of the people who have become the new rulers in a democratic republic, India. So the idea is, as the Nandi stands for Nyaya, fairness, it stands for, whoever is the ruler, in this case the government, who heads the government, in this case the Prime Minister, keeps in mind the system of fair play, fair justice, care for the poor. So that was the basic message. It was symbolism. And our country is full of symbolism. There was nothing to feel bad about it. But somehow I can sense from the way the Congress is even reacting today, I can sense from the way one grandson of Mahatma Gandhi reacted, like Rajmohan Gandhi says, I don't remember Rajaji ever mentioning. Whereas the other great grandson of Rajaji, C.R. Kesavan, who joined BJP recently from the Congress, he is very happy. Rajaji has been remembered by this. So you can see they are trying to somehow see that this doesn't get a lot of prominence.
So this just goes to say there are many flavors of truth.
Yes, there is one, as they say, there is one absolute truth and there are relative truths.
Ajay Nagendra, thank you, Ajay. Why can't NITI Aayog draft policies for state government against freebies? I heard that FM has directed that they can't borrow more than 3% of state GDP.
Sir, how can NITI Aayog come with a policy saying that you encourage freebies? Because NITI Aayog can only set out policies that function within a fiscal discipline, function within utilizing the available resources to the best extent possible. Basically, it means getting the best value for money. If some state government wishes to proceed on a particular schemes which they think is welfareism, is a lok kalyan meant for the people, they're fine to do it. But at the same time, they'll have to explain the resources, look for the resources. Or if they want to use whatever they get from the center, fine. But they will have to make up for the other things. Because they cannot say, you spend as much as you want, then we will. Because those days of, squandering money just for the sake of votes may work in 1 or 2 elections, but people are going to realize, as they will realize in Karnataka, that some schemes may work, but you cannot have a scheme like this and then fool the people, and then you take your own sweet time to implement, saying that next elections are 5 years away. I mean, that's not what I would say. You cannot, fool all the people all the time.
Pardu RD wants to know, is it plausible to consider that Kejriwal is exerting pressure on KCR through potential leverage gain from Kavita's involvement in Delhi liquor case?
Well, that was the thing that put Kejriwal in trouble. Rather, he feels, that this is the one way he can go around and mobilize support. And the reason why there is misgivings in the Congress to support Kejriwal on this ordinance is because they feel, suppose he manages to get support of Congress and everybody, he will utilize this itself as a platform to project himself as the most favored opposition leader by all the opposition parties. That is not a room that Congress wants to give him. That is why the resistance. So you can see the resistance on 2 accounts. Though they may feel that Centre has overacted on that issue, on the ordinance issue, trying to nullify the Supreme Court verdict. But there is also a fear that, because the trust quotient between Kejriwal and other opposition leaders is quite low, sir. Just as between Kejriwal, even other AAP leaders is not great, is not hugely high. Because you have seen, sir, in that Sheesh Mahal case, some of the documents that were recently shown on Times Now Bharat, where officers are writing official documents saying Madam CM will clear it. I mean, assigning, rather acknowledging a role for Madam CM in rebuilding that CM's residence. Madam CM will decide what tiles to go, what TA to go. CM, do you have a Madam CM? That is the spouse of Arvind Kejriwal. I mean, these people came up through a movement against corruption, against squandering public money. And when you see these things, I mean, one does get very disturbed. Whatever happened to people who were crusaders of anti-corruption movement? How have they come to such a pass?
Next question, please. Chaitanya Takle wants to know, how can government stop Christians from taking SC reservations even after conversion?
Well, they have already appointed a committee under Balakrishnan, the former Chief Justice of India, to go into this whether SC category should be extended to people who have left Hinduism, because other religions claim everyone is equal in their religion. The other religions say that, so how can they? And of course, the church groups are very upset that this conversion, I mean, they cannot, if they lose the SC/ST facility, if they convert, has upset the church plans to increase its membership, or rather its conversion plans have been largely affected by this, because they can no longer lure people. Of course, the lure that is used does not apply to jobs, so that is something has been standing in the way. And there is also resistance from those who are getting the benefit today. They feel if you open it up, then there, in terms of the facility available to all others will come down, I mean, for the whole lot. So there is a resistance from the existing scheduled caste and scheduled tribe communities. But in the case of course, scheduled tribe, this problem is not there, but scheduled caste, there is a problem.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please. Rahul Rathod wants to know, is S Jaishankar continue as FM if PM comes to power in 2024? As many indicators show, he will win 2024. On your views on slow progress of bullet train, which is getting delayed? I think we touched on the bullet train. So
yeah, we touched on the bullet train. Well, Jaishankar remains a very important person in the Modi scheme of things. And given that the coming months and coming years, India will be engaging with more and more with foreign powers. You have just seen how the G7 summit, where Modi interacted with several leaders, and the problem of China, and then, of course, the deterioration in Europe. Already Germany has declared recession. You can see the kind of things that's happening elsewhere, where India's role will be very keenly watched, and India's, I would say, involvement sought in trying to tackle some of the world crises.
Next question, please. Berlin wants to know, Shekhar sir, Chandra Babu Naidu championed for opposition unity and dreamt of becoming kingmaker in 2019. It is Nitish Kumar now. I hope Nitish faces the same fate as that of Chandra Babu Naidu.
In fact, some people are predicting this, sir. What Mr. Berlin has mentioned, that Chandra Babu Naidu, that in fact Nitish Kumar is Chandra Babu Naidu of 2024. People are already talking about it. And today Chandra Babu Naidu is desperate to return to NDA. He says, I have been cursing the day I decided to hold my hands along with Sonia Gandhi in Bangalore 2018. Then he came out of NDA. I mean, that he had come out of NDA by then, of course. So you can see that what is his plight. And of course, Chandrababu Naidu he will be attending, the new parliament building function.
Next question, please. Thank you, Berlin. Mr. Iyer, Modi ji is going to retire in 2027. Dr. Jaishankar will be 73 by then. Do you think will take over for the next 2 years? He's a Tamilian by birth, and it will help BJP's growth in Tamil Nadu.
No, at the moment, nobody is looking at, Modi's retirement. Rather, when Modi chooses to do, will be entirely his calling, and even then there will be pressure from the party as to not let him go so easily. Though there will be a day when Modi will retire, I am sure of that, because he would also like to convey that message that he is no clinger for power. Rather, he is not going to cling to any post. There will be a time for that. Of course, that's a little far off, because at the moment I think there is a lot of work to do. That's what the Prime Minister feels. As for Jaishankar's role, will be in his domain area, which is foreign policy and strategic areas. That will be there. So who is going to take over next, the coming years? It's an open question. People are talking of so many leaders. People particularly mention Yogi Adityanath. One does not know how the things are evolving, but lot will depend on the 2024 elections, then the next round of assembly elections, what kind of leadership is thrown. And nobody thought a few years ago it will be Modi. Nobody knows who it will be next. But there are leaders who are being encouraged, and some leaders are being seen in that light already. I just mentioned Yogi Adityanath.
Next question, please. Ask Shekharji, Rohit Ravi wants to know, can you tell about a mob lynching incident in Telangana?
I cannot, which particular incident does Rohit have in mind? I do not know.
Yeah, we don't know that. And I think at this point of time, I think we're done with all the questions. If we missed out, please excuse us. There is a time limit that we impose on our programs, not to exceed 1 hour. So thank you once again, Shekharji. We'll be back on Wednesday at 10 a.m. to talk to Shekharji. And from next Saturday onward, Shekharji will be coming at 10 p.m., not at 9:30 p.m. Please mark that change. Thank you once again, sir. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Do follow Shekharji on Twitter, Shekhar Iyer I. Do follow me on Twitter, Sri Iyer I. And P Gurus 1 is the name of the channel. Thank you once again, sir. Namaskar.